The large silver ship appeared in Earth's sky without warning. It hung above New York, silent and still, twice the size of the Empire State Building. People stopped in the streets to stare up at it. Some ran. Some took pictures. Some just stood with their mouths open. Inside the White House, President Olivia Martinez called an emergency meeting. Men and women in suits rushed into a room with no windows. They talked over each other until the president raised her hand. "We need to respond," she said. "We need someone good with words." That someone was Frank Coleman. He taught at Harvard and wrote books about talking to other cultures. The military picked him up in a helicopter that same day. They told him he would speak for all humans. No pressure, Frank joked to himself as the helicopter landed at the White House. 3 days later, Frank stood in Central Park with 5 soldiers and 2 scientists. They all looked up as a small craft came down from the big ship. It landed softly on the grass. A door opened, and 3 beings walked out. They looked almost human, but their skin was pale blue. Their eyes were large and dark. They wore simple white clothes with strange symbols. The one in front raised a hand. "We bring greetings from the Galactic Council," it said in perfect English. "I am Zorlak." Frank stepped forward. His heart beat fast, but his voice stayed calm. "Earth welcomes you," he said. "I'm Frank Coleman, speaking for our planet." At first meeting lasted 2 hours. Frank learned that the Galactic Council included 17 different alien species. They had been watching Earth for decades. Now they wanted to invite humans to join them. In the months that followed, ships came and went. Aliens visited Earth, and humans visited space stations. The world changed. People got used to seeing aliens on TV and in the streets. Frank worked every day with Zorlak. They set up rules about trade, travel, and technology. But problems started to show up. "We cannot allow humans to develop faster ship engines," Zorlak said during a meeting 6 months after first contact. "Why not?" Frank asked. "We need to travel between stars if we're going to be part of the council." "Your development is too fast," Zorlak said. "All species must follow the proper path. You must use our approved designs." This happened again and again. The council said humans could not work on better computers. They could not study certain types of energy. They could not build bigger space stations. "They're holding us back," said Admiral Gregory Harmon during a private meeting with Frank and the president. "They smile and call us friends, but they keep us weak. We need more time." Frank said, "We need to understand them better." The president nodded. "Maybe this will help. The council has invited a group of our children to visit their main world. A show of trust." Admiral Harmon frowned. "I don't like it." "Your daughter Lisa was picked," the president said. "She's 12, right? Smart girl." "That's why I don't like it," Harmon said. "I don't trust them with our children." But the trip was approved. 20 children, all from families of important people, would go to the council homeworld. They would learn about alien cultures and be young ambassadors. On the day they left, Admiral Harmon hugged his daughter tight. "Be careful," he told Lisa. "Keep your eyes open. Tell me everything when you get back." Lisa smiled. Her brown hair was pulled back in a neat ponytail. "Don't worry, Dad. I'll be fine. This is history happening." Frank watched as the children boarded the alien ship. He felt pride, but also worry in his stomach. The council seemed friendly. But there was something in Zorlak's eyes sometimes that made Frank wonder what they weren't saying. The ship rose into the blue sky and disappeared. No one knew that one of those children would never return, and that her death would change the galaxy forever. The council home world was beautiful. Tall glass towers reached up into a purple sky. Flying cars moved between the buildings. The 20 Earth children stared with wide eyes as their ship landed on a round platform. Lisa Harmon took pictures with the small camera her father had given her. She wanted to remember everything to tell him when she got home. Her friend Ben stood next to her. "This is amazing," Ben said. Look at those buildings. I want to see how everything works, Lisa said. She was always curious. Her father called her his little scientist. Zorlak led the children into a large building. This is where you will stay, he said. You can explore the main level. The upper levels are for council members only. The children had classes about alien cultures. They met young aliens from other worlds. They ate strange foods and learned simple words in alien languages. Most of the children were happy. But Lisa noticed things. The aliens watched the humans all the time. They wrote notes. They asked many questions. It felt like a test, not a friendly visit. On the 5th day, Lisa couldn't sleep. She got out of bed and walked down the quiet hall. No one was watching. She found a door that led to stairs going up. Just a quick look, she whispered to herself. The upper level was dark. Lisa used the light from her small camera to see. She found a room with many screens. No one was there. She touched one of the screens, and it lit up. Words appeared. Lisa could read them because the council had given all the children translator devices. What she read made her heart beat fast. Humans develop too quickly. Dangerous potential. Must control Earth technology. Prepare for full control within 50 years. Lisa took pictures of the screen. The council was lying to Earth. They were afraid of humans. They wanted to keep humans weak and then take over. A sound made Lisa turn around. 3 council guards stood in the doorway. One pointed at the screen. The human has seen restricted files, the guard said. I was just lost, Lisa said. She put her camera in her pocket. I'll go back to my room now. The aliens moved toward her. You have violated our laws. You must come with us. Lisa backed away. I need to talk to Zorlak first, or call my father. Give us your camera, one guard said. They knew she had taken pictures. Lisa ran. She was fast, but the room had only one door. The aliens caught her. One grabbed her arm hard. Another tried to take her camera. Lisa fought, kicking and pulling. Let me go, she shouted. One guard pushed her. Lisa fell back. Her head hit the edge of a metal table. There was a sharp pain, then nothing. The guards stood around her still body. One checked her neck. The human child is dead, he said. They were quiet for a moment. Then the leader spoke. This is a problem. Call Zorlak. We must fix this before Earth finds out. The next day, Zorlak sent a message to Earth. There had been a terrible accident. Lisa Harmon had fallen down some stairs while exploring at night. She had died from her injuries. The council was very sorry. They would send her body home. They offered money and technology to make up for this sad event. Admiral Harmon stood very still as he heard the news. His face showed no emotion, but inside, his heart broke. That night, a young boy named Ben came to the Admiral's house. Ben looked scared. He handed over a small chip. Lisa gave this to me before it happened, Ben said. She told me to give it to you if anything happened to her. Admiral Harmon put the chip into a computer. It showed videos from Lisa's camera. He saw the secret files. He saw the guards corner his daughter. He saw them push her down. The Admiral closed the computer. His hands were shaking. He picked up his phone and called the president. We need to talk, he said. The council murdered my daughter. President Olivia Martinez called an emergency meeting. The room was filled with the most important people on Earth. Military leaders sat next to scientists and government officials. Everyone looked grim. Admiral Harmon stood at the front of the room. His face was hard like stone. He played the video from Lisa's camera. The room went quiet when they saw the council guards push her. Several people looked away. The council lied to us, Admiral Harmon said. They killed my daughter to keep their plans secret. Frank Coleman shook his head. I trusted Zorlak. I believed everything he told me. The council fears us, said General Susan Lee. That's clear from the files Lisa found. They've been holding back our progress because they're scared of what we might become. President Martinez stood up. She was a small woman, but her voice was strong. "The council thinks we are weak," she said. "They believe we will accept their lies about Lisa's death. They think we have no choice but to stay under their control." She paused. "They are wrong." She pressed a button on the table. A hidden screen came down from the ceiling. It showed a map of the solar system. "It's time to activate Protocol Lazarus," she said. Many people in the room gasped. Some looked confused. "What is Protocol Lazarus?" Frank asked. General Lee answered. "After the resource wars of 2043, Earth's nations made a secret plan. If we ever faced an alien threat, we would need to be ready." Admiral Harmon continued. "In 2031, a small alien ship crashed in the Arctic. We kept it secret. We studied it. We learned how it worked. Then we built our own ships based on that technology." "Where are these ships?" Frank asked. President Martinez pointed to the map, hidden in plain sight. "Some are deep under the lunar surface. Others are disguised as research stations in the asteroid belt. A few are buried under the ice on Europa." She turned to Admiral Harmon. "How many ships are ready?" 37 warships, he answered, fully armed. "The Council doesn't know about any of them." Frank looked shocked. "We've been hiding this technology for all these years, even during our talks with the Council." "We needed to be careful," the President said. "Now we know we were right to keep these ships secret." General Lee pulled up images of the hidden fleet. The ships were sleek and dark. They looked nothing like the bulky vessels humans publicly used for space travel. "Each ship has weapons that match or exceed Council technology," she explained. "They have shields faster than light drives and advanced AI systems." "What's our plan?" asked Frank. "First, we keep talking to the Council," President Martinez said. "We act sad but accepting about Lisa's death. We ask for more trade, more cultural exchange. We keep them thinking we believe their lies." "Meanwhile," Admiral Harmon said, "we wake up our fleet. We prepare for war." President Martinez looked at each person in the room. "This must remain absolutely secret. The Council has spies everywhere. If they learn about our fleet before we're ready, they'll destroy us." Admiral Harmon stepped forward. "I request command of the flagship. I want to lead the first attack." The President nodded. "Granted. The flagship is yours." She looked at him with sad eyes. "I'm sorry about Lisa." "I'll make sure her death means something," he said quietly. As the meeting ended, people left with new purpose. Earth would pretend to go along with the Council's rules. But beneath the surface of the moon, engineers were already bringing the secret ships to life. Admiral Harmon went to the window and looked up at the stars. Somewhere out there, the people who killed his daughter were going about their lives, thinking they had gotten away with it. They thought humans were weak. They would soon learn how wrong they were. The moon base was huge, built inside a crater that couldn't be seen from Earth. For 10 years, workers had dug deep tunnels and big rooms under the surface. The Council satellites never spotted it because special shields hid all heat and energy signs. Colonel Kate Peterson walked through the main hangar. She had been in charge of the moon base for 5 years. Now she watched as hundreds of engineers and crew members ran around, getting the ships ready. "How long until the fleet is ready?" she asked Dr. Alan Wright, the lead engineer. 4 days for all systems to be at full power, he said. "These ships have been sleeping for a long time. We need to be careful waking them up." Kate nodded and looked at the biggest ship in the hangar. It was black as night and shaped like an arrow. The name EDF Vengeance was painted on its side in small white letters. This would be Admiral Harmon's ship. "Begin loading weapons and supplies," she ordered. "I want crews on all ships within 48 hours. While the moon base buzzed with activity, Frank Coleman sat across from Zorlak in a meeting room on Earth. Frank tried to keep his face calm. Inside, he felt angry knowing that this alien had lied about Lisa's death. "We accept the Council's explanation about the tragic accident," Frank said, following the President's plan. We wish to continue growing our relationship. Zorlak looked relieved. The Council is pleased with Earth's understanding. We have prepared new trading agreements for you to review. Frank smiled and took the papers. We're especially interested in more cultural exchanges. As Frank kept the Council representatives busy with meetings and paperwork, the secret work continued. Back on the moon, Dr. Wright stood in the engine room of the Vengeance. He checked the power readings on the main computer. The core is stable, he told his team. 30% more powerful than we expected. The engine was based on the technology from the crashed alien ship, but human engineers had made it better, stronger. They had spent years improving the design without telling the Council. Admiral Harmon arrived at the moon base that night. He walked straight to the Vengeance and stood looking up at it. "This is for you, Lisa," he whispered. Kate showed him around the ship. "The crew is the best we have," she said. "All trained in secret over the last 5 years." "What about the weapons?" Harmon asked. 6 main laser cannons, missile launchers with smart targeting, and the new pulse system that can disable other ships without destroying them. Harmon nodded. "Good. I don't want to kill everyone, just the ones responsible for my daughter's death." On the 3rd day, all 37 ships were awake. Their engines hummed with power. Crews ran final checks on all systems. Each ship had a name: Vengeance, Justice, Retribution, Guardian, Defender, and others. Together, they were Earth's hidden strength. Captain Steve Nichols, commander of the EDF Retribution, studied the attack plans. His ship would lead the strike on the Council's main shipyard. "We'll hit them where it hurts most," he told his crew. "Take out their ability to build new ships." President Martinez spoke to all fleet commanders through a secure channel. "The Council believes we are weak," she said. "They think we accepted their lies. They don't know what's coming. In 24 hours, Earth will show its true power." Admiral Harmon gave final orders to his officers on the bridge of the Vengeance. "Our first target is the Centauri defense platform. It controls the Council's early warning system. When it goes down, they'll be blind to our next moves." As the final hour approached, the floor of the lunar crater opened up. One by one, the warships rose from their hiding place. For the first time, Earth's secret fleet moved together, ready for war. The Council had killed a human child. Now they would face humanity's revenge. The human fleet moved silently through space. Their special engines left no trace. The Council's tracking systems did not see them coming. The ships spread out, each heading to its target. Admiral Harmon stood on the bridge of the Vengeance. The stars shone on the big screen in front of him. His officers waited for his command. "All ships report ready, sir," said his second-in-command. Harmon took a deep breath. Once he gave the order, there was no going back. Earth would be at war with the Galactic Council. "Begin the attack," he said. The Vengeance dropped out of faster-than-light travel near the Centauri defense platform. It was a huge ring-shaped station with many weapons. It protected the main route to the Council homeworld. Nearly 1,000 alien workers and soldiers lived on it. "They've spotted us," an officer reported. "They're trying to contact us." "Ignore them," Harmon said. "Target their communication array first." The Vengeance fired its main laser. A bright beam hit the platform's tallest tower. The tower melted away. Now the platform could not send messages to the rest of the Council. "They're powering up weapons," someone shouted. "Too late," Harmon said. More beams shot from the Vengeance, each hit with perfect aim. The platform's weapons exploded one by one. Soon, the station was defenseless. Harmon opened a channel to the platform. "This is Admiral Harmon of Earth. Your station is now under our control. We do not wish to kill your people. Surrender now." The station commander appeared on the screen. His blue face showed shock and fear. "How is this possible? Humans don't have this technology." "You were wrong about us," Harmon said. "Surrender, or we will destroy the station." The commander looked at the burning parts of his station. He had no choice. "We surrender," he said. At the same time, Captain Steve Nichols and the Retribution reached the Council's main shipyard. Dozens of half-built ships sat in space docks. Hundreds of worker ships moved around them. "Target the building equipment and power stations only," Nichols ordered. "Avoid the living areas." The Retribution fired precisely. Cranes and machines blew apart. Power stations went dark. Soon, the huge shipyard was dead in space. Not a single alien worker was hurt, but the Council could not build new ships there for months. Across Council space, the other Earth ships struck their targets. Military bases, weapon storage, fuel stations. Each attack was quick and precise. Each attack ended the same way. The Earth ship would demand surrender, and the surprised aliens would give up without much fight. No one in the Council had expected humans to have such powerful ships. No one had expected them to attack at all. On the Council homeworld, Zorlak ran into the high chamber. The room was filled with leaders from all 17 alien species. They were shouting at each other. "How did they build these ships without us knowing?" one asked. "Where did they get the technology?" another demanded. "Why are they attacking us?" a third cried. Zorlak raised his hands. "The humans have discovered the truth about the child's death. They know we lied. This is their revenge." The Council leader stood up. He was tall with gray skin. "Send all our ships to defend our key worlds. We must stop them before they reach us here." Zorlak shook his head. "It's too late. Our early warning systems are down. Our shipyards are disabled. The humans planned this perfectly." In the corner of the room, a small alien with 4 arms spoke up. He was from the Tyrandi species. "Perhaps we should talk to them," he suggested. "Find out what they want." "They want revenge for the child," Zorlak said. "Then we should offer it to them," the Tyrandi said. "We were wrong to kill her. We were wrong to lie. Maybe we were wrong about humans all along." Back on the Vengeance, Admiral Harmon received reports from all Earth ships. Every target had been taken. Not a single Earth ship had been damaged. The first strike was a complete success. "What now, sir?" his officer asked. Harmon looked at the map of Council space. "Now we wait for them to call us. And then we tell them our terms." 3 days after the first attack, the Council was in chaos. Their military bases were destroyed or captured. Their ships could not talk to each other because humans controlled the communication stations. Different alien species argued about what to do. The Tyrandi, with their 4 arms and gentle ways, called for peace talks. The Vosh, who looked like tall birds, agreed with them. But the Krasanar, a warrior species with tough red skin, wanted all-out war against the humans. "These humans tricked us," shouted Grell, the Krasanar leader. He pounded his fist on the Council table. "They hid their true power. They lied about their technology." Lorvik of the Tyrandi stood up. He was half the size of Grell, but he spoke calmly. "Did we not lie to them first? Did we not kill one of their children and then cover it up?" Zorlak looked down at his hands. "The Tyrandi is right. We started this." On the Vengeance, Admiral Harmon received a message. The Council was asking for a meeting. They wanted to talk. "It's working," he told his officers. "Our plan is working." But not everything was going as planned. A group of Krasanar ships had broken away from the main Council fleet. They were heading toward Earth's colony on Mars. 5,000 humans lived there in domed cities. The Krasanar want revenge. General Lee told Harmon over the secure channel. "They're going to attack Mars." Harmon ordered 3 ships to protect the colony. Captain Sharon Phillips led them on the EDF Guardian. "We'll reach Mars before the Krasanar do," she promised. "They won't touch our people." The Guardian and 2 other ships raced toward Mars. When they arrived, they formed a protective line in front of the red planet. Soon, the Krasanar ships appeared. "Attention Krasanar vessels," Phillips said over an open channel. "This colony is under our protection. Turn back now." The Krasanar commander laughed. "We are not weak like the rest of the Council. We do not fear humans. The Krasanar ships fired. Their weapons were strong, but Earth's ships had better shields. The Guardian took the hits without damage. "Now they'll see what we can do," Phillips said. Her 3 ships fired back. Their precise shots disabled the Krasanar engines and weapons without destroying the ships. In just 10 minutes, all 7 Krasanar vessels were floating helpless in space. News of the battle spread quickly through the Council. The Krasanar, known as fierce warriors, had been defeated easily. More Council species began to call for peace. At the same time, Commander Eric Boyd of the EDF Justice made an important discovery. His team had captured a Council data center. They found files about Lisa Harmon's death. "Sir, you need to see this," Boyd told Admiral Harmon over a secure link. Lisa's death wasn't just an accident that they covered up. It was planned. Harmon's face went pale. "What do you mean?" "The Council extremists set a trap. They invited our children, hoping one of them would find those secret files. They wanted to see how Earth would respond to a provocation. They used my daughter as a test." Harmon's voice shook with anger. "Yes, sir. They expected Earth to respond with diplomatic protests. That would have shown them our true military strength. They never expected us to have a hidden fleet." Harmon closed his eyes for a moment. When he opened them, he had made a decision. "Send this information to communications specialist Diane Warren. Tell her to broadcast it on all Council frequencies. Every planet, every ship, every civilian should know what their leaders did." Within hours, the truth spread throughout Council space. Ordinary aliens were shocked to learn how their leaders had planned the death of a human child. They had been told humans were the aggressors. Now they knew the truth. On many Council worlds, people began to protest. They demanded new leadership. They called for peace with Earth. The Council was breaking apart from within, and Admiral Harmon's fleet was now heading toward the Council homeworld for the final confrontation. The Earth fleet moved toward the Council homeworld. 12 ships flew in perfect formation. The Vengeance led them. Admiral Harmon stood on the bridge, looking at the blue-green planet on the screen. "We'll be in orbit in 20 minutes, his navigator said. Harmon nodded. This was the moment he had been waiting for. The leaders who had ordered his daughter's death were on that planet. His communication officer turned to him. "Sir, we're getting a message from the planet. It's from Ambassador Krell of the Tyrande." "Put him through," Harmon said. A small 4-armed alien appeared on the screen. He looked tired. "Admiral Harmon, I speak for the new Council leadership," Krell said. "The old leaders have been removed from power. We wish to talk peace." Harmon's eyes narrowed. This could be a trick. "It is not," Krell said. "We have seen the truth about what happened to your daughter. Many Council worlds are protesting. The people want peace." Harmon thought for a moment. "I will meet with you, but my fleet stays in position." On Earth, President Martinez and her advisors watched the situation closely. Frank Coleman was worried. "Do you think we can trust them?" he asked. "I don't know," the president said. "But Admiral Harmon is a good man. He won't let his need for revenge cloud his judgment." A shuttle took Harmon down to the Council planet. 4 soldiers went with him. They landed in a large open area in front of the Council tower. Hundreds of aliens watched from a distance. Inside the tower, Harmon met with the new Council representatives. Krell of the Tyrande, Zeal of the Vosh, and others were there. The Krasnar seats were empty. "Where are the Krasnar?" Harmon asked. "They have left the Council," Krell said. "They still want war, but they are few, and we are many." Commander Eric Boyd continued his work on the Council data center. He and his team dug deeper into the files. What they found shocked them. "Admiral," Boyd called Harmon during the meeting, "we found more information. The plan to kill a human child came from a small group of extremists. Most Council members didn't know about it." "Who gave the order?" Harmon asked. "The Krasnar military leader, Grell, and 3 others who have now fled." This changed everything. The entire Council wasn't guilty. just a few power-hungry individuals who feared human potential. Back in the meeting, Krell showed Harmon a new peace plan. All restrictions on human technology will end, Krell said. Earth will have equal standing in the new council. We will share knowledge freely. And what about justice for my daughter? Harmon asked. The ones responsible will be found and punished, Krell promised. The council made a terrible mistake. We let fear guide our actions. As they talked, alarms suddenly rang through the building. A council aide ran into the room. Krasnar ships are attacking. They fired on the human fleet. On her ship, Captain Sharon Phillips fought to hold her position. 3 Krasnar battleships had appeared from behind a moon. They were firing everything they had at the Earth vessels. Shields at 60%, her officer reported. Return fire, Phillips ordered. Aim for their weapons only. The Earth ships fought back. Their advanced technology gave them an edge, but the Krasnar had powerful weapons too. In the council tower, Harmon watched the battle on a large screen. He could order his fleet to destroy the Krasnar ships completely. Part of him wanted to. Then he thought of Lisa. She had been curious, kind, always wanting to learn. What would she want him to do? Harmon made his decision. He turned to Krell. I need to get back to my ship. But I want you to know something. We didn't come here to destroy the council. We came for justice and to be treated as equals. Krell nodded. That is what we want too, Admiral. Please, help us end this without more death. Harmon ran to his shuttle. As he flew back to the Vengeance, he knew the next few minutes would decide the future of relations between Earth and the galaxy. Would it be war or peace, revenge or justice? The answer was in his hands. Admiral Harmon reached the Vengeance as the battle with the Krasnar ships grew worse. Captain Phillips and her crew were fighting hard, but they were taking damage. Status report, Harmon demanded as he stepped onto the bridge. The Krasnar have damaged 2 of our ships, his officer said. No one is dead, but we have wounded. Our shields are holding at 40%. Harmon looked at the tactical screen. The Krasnar ships were powerful, but they were fighting wildly. Without good planning, they were driven by anger and fear. I want a direct channel to the lead Krasnar ship, Harmon ordered. Soon, the face of Grell appeared on the screen. The Krasnar leader had red skin with dark marks. His eyes showed hatred. Human, he spat the word. Your kind does not belong among the stars. You developed too quickly. You are dangerous. You killed my daughter, Harmon said quietly. You gave that order. Grell laughed. 1 human child. What does that matter? We would have killed many more once we controlled Earth. Everyone on the bridge watched Harmon. This was the moment of truth. The Vengeance had a clear shot at Grell's ship. With one command, Harmon could destroy the alien who had ordered Lisa's death. Harmon closed his eyes for a moment. He remembered Lisa's smile, her curiosity, her kindness. He opened his eyes and looked at Grell. You're wrong about humans, Harmon said. We are not just warriors. We understand justice, real justice, not revenge. He turned to his weapons officer. Target their engines and weapons only. Disable the ships, but do not destroy them. The officer nodded and carried out the orders. The Vengeance fired precise shots. One by one, the Krasnar ships lost power. They floated helpless in space. What are you doing? Grell shouted. Finish us. No, Harmon said. You will face trial for your crimes. The people of the galaxy will know what you did. That is true justice. 3 weeks after the first attack, leaders from Earth and the Council met on a neutral space station. President Martinez sat next to Krell of the Tyrande. Representatives from all species were there, except the Krasnar, who were now removed from the Council. Today we sign a new charter, President Martinez said, one that treats all species as equals. Krell nodded. The old Council was wrong to fear humans. We should have welcomed your ideas and energy. The new treaty removed all restrictions on Earth technology. Humans would have the same rights as other species. Earth would share its knowledge, and the Council would share theirs. Grell and the other plotters who had planned Lisa's death were found guilty in a public trial. They would spend the rest of their lives in prison. The truth had been shown to everyone. After the signing, Admiral Harmon met with Krell in private. "What will you do now, Admiral?" Krell asked. "I'm retiring from the fleet," Harmon said. "I had enough of war." "Earth needs leaders like you," Krell said. Harmon looked out the window at the stars. "I have an idea, a way to make sure something good comes from all this." 1 month later, on a beautiful hill on the Council homeworld, a new building opened its doors. It was the Lisa Harmon Memorial Academy. Children from all species would study there. They would learn about each other's cultures and histories. They would become friends. Admiral Harmon, now just Gregory Harmon, stood at the entrance, greeting the first students. A small Tarandi child looked up at him. "Is it true this school is named for your daughter?" "Yes," Harmon said. "She was curious about the universe, just like you." "What would she think of all this?" the child asked. Harmon smiled. "She would love it. She would want to meet every new species, learn every language, understand every culture." The Earth fleet returned home, no longer a secret. Some ships stayed on patrol, but most were now used for joint missions with the Council. Humans and aliens worked side by side, exploring the galaxy. Sometimes the best way to honor those we've lost is to build something new. Lisa Harmon's death had nearly started a war. But in the end, it helped create a lasting peace.